Now at 5, area law enforcement agencies struggle to fill open positions.
President Biden says the renewed global effort to reduce the cost of oil will take time. I'm Skylar Henry at the White House with more on what that means for Americans' pockets.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
While many businesses are having trouble finding new employees this year, it's a problem some local law enforcement agencies have been battling for years. This is KOAM News at 5. Jasper County Sheriff's Office is facing recruitment issues, and with the construction of the new jail, they're in need of even more staff. The Joplin Police Department is down 13 officers right now. Captain Will Davis with the JPD says they have 7 recruits in the law enforcement academy right now, which he hopes will help with the issue.
You know, we hate to be 13 positions down, but we're trying to get creative and trying to bring in, we want to make sure we get the right people that are qualified for this position. We don't want to lower our standards. We want to make sure that we're providing the best people that go out and do the job.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more on the staffing issues some of our local agencies face. The city of Carthage is considering whether to ask voters to approve funds for a new performing arts center. Officials say the current performing arts center, which is attached to the 6th grade center, is no longer adequate for the school district or community to use. If approved, the new center would be attached to the high school. But before voters can decide, the school board has a decision to make.
The one we're in right now is old. It was built in 1987. Some of the items we need, we can't replace here. It's too small for any type of true high school performances. Since we were in this building, we've grown 300-400 kids just in the high school levels.
School district is also deciding what to do with the Powers Museum. The building was donated to the district, and right now the district is considering making it an alternative learning center. Pretty nice day out there. Doug Hitty joins us.
Yeah, not a bad Tuesday for us today. Temperatures warmer than what we have seen over the past couple days. Temperatures warming upper 60s for us today. Those nice strong southerly winds helping us warm up. Plenty of sunshine, clear skies for us, but you can start to see some clouds increasing out to the west. That is the beginnings of our next storm system, which will start to affect us as we head into Wednesday. But look at our temperatures right now. We're still low to mid 60s. Feels fantastic outside. Through the evening hours, we'll slide back through the 50s, but only down into the lower 50s for overnight lows tonight. You can see our temperatures much warmer than what we have seen over the past couple nights. Thunderstorm chances, showers, thunderstorms rolling in tomorrow. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Thanks, Doug. The trial over the murder of Ahmaud Arbery is now in the hands of the jury. The prosecution delivered its final rebuttal today. Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan are charged with malice and felony murder in the death of the 25-year-old unarmed jogger who was fatally shot last February. The 3 defendants could face life in prison if convicted. The suspect in the Waukesha, Wisconsin parade tragedy appeared in court today to face initial charges. Darrell Brooks is accused of barreling through the event with his car on Sunday. Prosecutors today said a 6th person, a child, has died. More than 40 others were injured. Brooks is charged with 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. President Biden says he will do what needs to be done to reduce gas prices hours after announcing his plan to tap into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. The president's poll numbers have recently taken a dive as concerns over inflation heading into the holidays rise. Reporter Skylar Henry has more from the White House.
Ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday, President Biden addressed the current state of the U.S. economy.
America has a lot to be proud of. We're experiencing the strongest economic recovery in the world.
The president has ordered the release of 50 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to counter rising gas prices. It's part of a coordinated effort with other major energy-consuming nations.
While our combined actions will not solve the problem of high gas prices overnight, it will make a difference.
The announcement comes less than a week after the president asked the Federal Trade Commission to look into whether there is price gouging at the gas pumps.
Gas supply companies are paying less and making a lot more. And they do not seem to be passing that on to the consumers at the pump.
Critics claim the White House has helped drive up oil prices by cutting domestic production. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy tweeted, "Dear Mr. President, let us produce our own energy and create jobs right here at home."
The president's sending a message. We're going to take inflation seriously. We're going to get it under control. We're going to stop these spiraling increases of prices.
Democrats and the White House argue Senate passage of the president's social spending and climate bill, called the Build Back Better Act, will help slash inflation. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
The Biden administration says 32 million barrels of the oil it's releasing will eventually be returned to the reserves in the years ahead. The United States has imposed new sanctions in connection with the controversial Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Secretary of State Antony Blinken issued a statement saying these sanctions match the requirements of the Protecting Europe's Energy Security Act of 2019. State Department told Congress that a vessel and an entity linked to Russia has connections to the contested pipeline, which was built in order to send natural gas from Russia to Germany. However, some officials fear this could lead to Moscow leveraging energy supplies to the rest of Europe. Still ahead, now's the time to pick up Christmas trees as vendors deal with a nationwide shortage. And next in Health Watch, some tips to stay mentally sharp as we age. Topping today's Health Watch, aspirin is linked to an increased risk of heart failure. It's according to a new study published in a journal of the European Society of Cardiology. Researchers found that those who used aspirin had a 26% increased risk of heart failure if they also had at least one predisposition, like smoking, obesity, or high blood pressure. High cholesterol and diabetes also contributed to the increased risk. About 6 million Americans over the age of 65 are living with Alzheimer's. By the year 2050, that number is expected to double. Although it's common for brain power to decline as we age, it is not inevitable. Here's some tips on what you can do to stay mentally sharp into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. For 84-year-old David Albertson and 83-year-old Alan Woods, age is nothing but a number.
I don't think about my age.
Both may be considered super-agers or have the cognitive function that's comparable to that of an average middle-aged adult. A study from Northwestern University found those who are super-agers lose brain volume at a slower pace than normally aging adults, putting super-agers at a lower risk for dementia. So what are super-agers doing to keep their minds young?
I think that's important to stay active.
The risk for developing Alzheimer's disease triples for individuals with a body mass index over 30. Also, challenging your mind can keep it in shape. David does crossword puzzles every day to keep his mind sharp.
I've been doing it for over 50 years, probably 60 years.
And research found superagers also had a greater circle of friends and family.
It's just common sense. You've just got to keep moving. You've got to keep your mind sharp, and if you have family and friends, you're in great shape.
Another tip, indulging in a glass of alcohol may keep your mind young. A Northwestern study found moderate drinkers had 23% less likely chance of developing Alzheimer's disease, but the key is that word moderation. Drinking more than the recommended amount of alcohol can put someone at a greater risk for Alzheimer's. Household chores like dusting or making the bed are linked to sharper memories for older adults. A study out of Singapore also found that doing housework helps protect against falls. Researchers found that heavier housework like vacuuming or window washing was linked to a 14% higher attention score for people 65 to 90 years old. Children as young as 6 can develop ideas that girls are less interested in computer science and engineering. A new study from the University of Houston and the University of Washington found that these stereotypes are persistent and may contribute to a gender gap in the study of technology and science. Researchers say girls may feel like they don't belong in these careers, leading them to abandon them at a young age. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the FAA announces more than $160,000 in fines for several unruly plane passengers.
Plus, we have some rain chances sneaking right back into the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. It definitely turned out to be a fantastic Tuesday for us today. Crystal clear blue skies, significantly warmer than what we have seen over the past couple days as we went all the way up into the upper 60s. Even though the sun is setting as we speak, temperatures are still pretty good. Most of us are sitting into lower 60s right now, and we're not going to drop off too much more tonight. 61 in Nevada, 59 in Anderson. We have Carthage at 62. We can jump into Oklahoma. Miami at 61, Pittsburgh 62, Parsons at 64 degrees. These nice kind of brisk southerly winds helping keeping our temperatures up. And this is what we're going to see all night long. We're going to see those southerly winds actually decently strong as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Looks good. Here's 7th and Rangeline. Currently outside, we are sitting clear skies, 62. South winds 10 to 14. Humidity is bone dry. We're going to drop back through the 50s, and that's it. Only into lower 50s later on tonight, so it actually stays fairly mild for overnight lows for this time of the year. Clear skies, nothing is going on here. Really, the entire Central Plains, pretty good. You can see the beginnings of our next storm system out across the central parts of the Rockies, and this wave is going to roll in late in the daytime hours tomorrow into tomorrow night. And what that will do is give us chances for showers, even a few embedded thunderstorms by the time we head into Wednesday evening. Tonight's okay. Clouds increase. We're going to hold in to the lower 50s. A lot of clouds tomorrow. I think most of the morning is going to be dry. It's still going to be mild. We're going to go into the mid 60s for highs, and then late afternoon, that's when we're going to have chances for showers, even a few embedded thunderstorms popping up. But just a lot of clouds tomorrow. Temperature is pretty good. 51 to start, 61 by noon. High temp is 65. South winds very similar to today, kind of in that 15 to 25 mile per hour range. Tomorrow evening, showers continue to increase. Here's 7:30, and then they really get going. 8, 9, 10 p.m. And within this line, we're going to have a few embedded thunderstorms. I don't think they're going to be too strong, but a few embedded thunderstorms. Showers, thunderstorms continue to work east. Here's 1:30 in the morning, so early Thursday morning. And then I think by Thanksgiving morning, most of the rain is going to be out of here. And then we'll get some sunshine by the time we head into Thursday afternoon. But temperatures, they're going to kind of struggle to warm up. It's going to be significantly cooler as we head into Thursday afternoon. Rainfall with this system, not a ton, but I think a lot of areas, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And then we are going to get some areas, especially in our southern counties, that pick up 3/4 of an inch, maybe even upwards to an inch of rain as this next storm system rolls through. Temperatures tomorrow, 65. The rain is late, but a high of only 47 on Thanksgiving. Here's your Thanksgiving Day planner. If you are going to get up early, 37 to start, 42 by 9, 44 by noon, and a high temp, cooler, but not a bad day of 47 degrees. Black Friday back to 56, 63 on Saturday. Look at this weekend, 63, 56 on Sunday. Good weekend to do some final fall activities outside because the Chiefs are off this weekend. So.
That's right. It's a bye week.
Yeah.
Still be some good football games
there will be.
To watch. Thanks, Doug. Coming up, a nationwide Christmas tree shortage. First, though, we honor a local veteran. David Odell served in the U.S. Army from 1965 to 1972. The Thayer, Kansas native was stationed in Vietnam, received a Purple Heart, and we salute Chief Warrant Officer David Odell, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, unruly passengers prepare to pay up. The Federal Aviation Administration just announced fines it's levied against disruptive passengers. The agency says just 8 passengers faced fines totaling $161,000. That's the third highest total since the FAA enacted its zero tolerance policy. One of the passengers accounts for 1/4 of that total. The newest set of fines comes as the airline industry prepares to handle an estimated 20 million travelers over the Thanksgiving holiday. Get ready for Plan B. According to a new Bankrate survey, 77% of people reported some sort of shopping problems heading into the holidays. Heading the list, sticker shock, meaning higher prices than usual. And nearly half of respondents said their searched for item was out of stock or on back order. To check gift lists off, Americans are pivoting to shopping earlier or buying gift cards. Thanksgiving's just a couple of days away now, and millions of Americans are getting ready to put up a Christmas tree. But there's a shortage this year, so if you don't already have one, you might want to act fast. Reporter Nikki Batiste has details.
For nearly 30 years, the Vandervalk Farm and Winery in Mendon, Massachusetts has been a destination for families searching for the perfect Christmas tree. But this year, it will be quiet here. Casey Vandervalk is the farm's owner.
Would you say there's a cut-your-own Christmas tree crisis this year?
There is.
Last Christmas, during the height of the pandemic, the demand for a real tree was higher than normal, and Vandervalk oversold, cutting into this year's supply. It takes between 7 and 15 years for the trees to grow tall enough to sell.
Yeah, so that tree is 5 years old.
5 years?
Exactly.
Farmers across the country are dealing with shortages for the same reason Vandervalk is, coupled with excessive rain.
When we go through the fields, all the small trees have died because the roots just sat in the water.
There are around 15,000 Christmas tree farms in the U.S., and each year, Americans purchase approximately 25 to 30 million real Christmas trees. This year, there's also an artificial tree shortage due to supply chain issues. About 85% of Americans who celebrate Christmas put up an artificial tree. Mac Harmon is the founder and CEO of Balsam Hill, a popular artificial tree company.
We're trying to bring in more products into the country than our ports are designed to handle, and so everything's getting delayed.
Harmon told us he's now paying about 300% more to bring his artificial trees to the U.S. from Asia, where they're produced, and that cost is being passed on to consumers. They've had to increase prices this year about 20%. As for Vandervalk, his family's homemade wine business and last year's sales will keep them afloat, but being closed for the Christmas season for the first time in nearly 3 decades is still hard to accept.
It's sad.
It is sad. Don't do that, you're going to make me cry.
Oh, sorry, it's sad.
We definitely enjoy doing it.
Vandervalk says they plan to be open next year, but depending on his trees, they may shorten their selling season. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
It's been known for its $1 price tag for all products, but not any longer. The bargain chain Dollar Tree is raising its prices for the first time in 3 decades, and surprisingly, it is not due to inflation. By the beginning of 2022, items will be $1.25. Dollar Tree says the price hike will give them more flexibility to bring back customer favorites and also introduce new items. The company also says the increase will help with freight and distribution costs as well as wage increases. One of America's biggest retailers is making a big announcement ahead of Thanksgiving. No more Target runs after your Turkey Day meal. Target will now close all of its stores on Thanksgiving and every year from now on. That is until further notice, of course. Many big box stores, including Target, closed last year on Thanksgiving Day because of the pandemic. And now, according to the company's CEO, that will be their new standard. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look inside America's counter-drug operation. Then on KOAM News at 6, the Joplin Airport's expectations for the holiday travel rush. Plus, a former Joplin Middle School teacher is sentenced for enticing a minor to engage in sex. And we're going to have more on staffing shortages among area law enforcement agencies. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. For late November, pretty nice out there.
Yeah, not bad at all. We're going to drop back lower 50s for us tonight, but we are going to go again mid 60s tomorrow. We aren't going to really see much in the way of sunshine. Mostly cloudy skies, showers, and a few thunderstorms start to develop tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, and then turning quite a bit cooler, but Thanksgiving overall looks okay. It's a good day to stay inside.
You keep saying that. Watch football, eat turkey. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.